Hey, good morning again, everyone. So today is Wednesday, hump day, middle of the week. So I have another book that I wrote shortly after the first one I wrote, which was When Mommy Goes Back to School, and which I did a kind of an intro on yesterday. So today I want to introduce you to my other book that I wrote, which also came out of the my doctoral study that I did on females, adult females going back to school, taking on the additional responsibility of doctoral studies while they had jobs, families, and everything else that they had to take care of. So I just want to introduce you to this book that I thought, at first when I thought of writing this book, I was going to pretty much put all the information that I got from my doctoral dissertation. But and I thought, nobody's going to have time to read that, because I remember when I was doing my studies, I had no time to read yet another book that was going to be so any kind of a heavy reading. So the idea came to me to do this more in a very easy kind of a read, cliff note style. As a matter of fact, it's called a Preparatory Handbook for Doctoral Students at different stages of their doctoral programs, because I tried to address the different stages of the doctoral program that a person doing a PhD will go through. And so I also have Cliff Notes style right there. I don't know if you can see it right there. So what I did with this book is to I wanted the reader to really feel the presence of the participants in my study. So instead of paraphrasing what they said, their responses, I used their verbatim responses. Of course, there are no identification, nothing that could identify them. They themselves, when they read it, can tell who said it. But basically, I wanted to choose their verbatim responses. And from this study, I got a lot of information that would give the doctoral student who's just entering the program, would give them a kind of forewarning of what it is that they can expect, because these students will tell you exactly what they went through. And so I used their responses verbatim to give that essence. I didn't want to remove that essence from the reader's experience. So, for example, I kind of stressed roles that these doctoral students would have. They would have the caregiving role, they'd have the relationship role because they're married or have spouses or partners. And I kind of gave an overview of the kind of different roles that they had to play. Then I went into the themes that I got from the doctoral students' experiences. For example, family adjustment, which is important for a doctoral student entering the program to know, because there's bound to be some kind of adjustment in the family dynamics. You know, daddy's going to have to take over more responsibilities. The children will have to help out a little more. The children won't have mommy around to kind of be with them all the time, to take part in all the activities. So there's going to be a lot of different changes, and mommy's going to be tired all the time. The relationship between spouses will, you know, most of the participants, if not all, I think maybe only one, had issues with relationship issues with their spouses, only because they were so tired. They had nothing left to give after a full-time job, dealing with full-time school and children. So it is something that it is important for doctoral students entering a program, or any student, I think, any female student or male student for that matter, entering a program, to know, for the spouse to understand that things are going to change and there are certain things they're going to have to compromise on. So, for example, under the theme of family support, one of my participants said, "It's super important to have a very supportive system in order to make it through. Relationships could have ended, but I've been blessed to have an amazing family, an amazing support system. It's okay that you can't handle it all. It's okay to ask for help along the way. It's okay if you don't finish within a certain time." So we have different verbatim responses that kind of gives a very good essence of There's also another theme that came out of that study, which is called social isolation. Social isolation. When I asked about their social life, one said, I didn't have one. She laughs and says, and in fact, not that I lost my friends, but friends would always comment because not everybody was aware that I was going through the process. They'd always comment that I wasn't around. And definitely I withdrew myself from activities. Pretty much I was okay with that because I had so many other things to occupy my time. Yeah, but definitely friendship suffered as a result. So these are different things that came out of the study. Also, I kind of also focused on the dissertation process, and I got experiences. I got experiences from faculty members here at my university who were recent graduates of a doctoral program, and they gave their feedback as well as what it would take for you to successfully complete a doctoral program or any study whatsoever. But just so happens that I did a doctoral program, and one of them suggests that some of the traits that you need to have or cultivate if you don't have it is strong work ethic, intelligence, confidence, determination, resourcefulness. You have to be resourceful when you're doing any kind of studies because you're going to be required to find out information that nobody's going to sit there and tell you. Pitfalls, they can, one professor who was a doctoral student recently said, it can be easy to get discouraged or feel overwhelmed. Like this is something that you're never going to finish. For example, with discouragement, sometimes you spend a lot of time researching and or writing something and it end up not really panning out or and you have to cut it out. That can be discouraging, but you have to just keep pushing and block it out of your mind as much as possible. And then there is also, I got the perspective from some of some faculty who were dissertation chairs, and they tell you that some of the things that they think would be helpful for students about the time when they're doing their dissertation is to, during their actual coursework, they should start thinking about the topic of their dissertation. That way, while they're writing their papers, they could be writing towards their dissertation. So when that time comes, it would be less for you to write. You would just have to now organize and put stuff into sequences. But I can tell you also that as from my experience and also others' experiences, whether you have that topic or that focus that you're going to write your dissertation on before or just while you're doing the process, it really doesn't matter. It's almost like you're going to have to still very few people decide on a subject and then they actually do it. I went through like 7 different topics and different topics in various areas, and then I had to kind of weed them out because I realized some of them required me almost doing another degree to learn about the brain. One of my first topics was psychotherapy in brain function in psychotherapy and how the brain can help to how you can use psychotherapy to affect the brain and make it neuroplasticity basically is one of the very concepts that I was studying. So it's important for you to just know that it's not going to be as a clear cut but always just keep pushing on. So I believe that this book would be helpful as it would give you some kind of a guide in your doctoral program. And so pick it up. It's on Amazon in the book format as well as the Kindle version as well. So go ahead for me and pick this up. It's less than $20 and buy it and use it and leave a review for me. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day. Bye now.